Should he be announced dead, these accounts are subject to audit.
He was all tied up with the Carlyle Group, too, which was Bush and Millman and all of them. So, I mean, if a person wanted to look at it, and all they'd have to do is go to the Carlyle Holdings, and there it is.
That's correct. And, of course, that's what we're dealing with now. We're dealing with Weekend at Bernie's, a.k.a. Weekends at Bin Laden's. And the movies lasted 8 years, folks. And the media continues to get on there, well, he's alive somewhere. He's at the border. He's here. He's there.
Let's speak of that for a minute, Don, regarding his death. I believe it was about 3-4 years ago, you reported, the fact that he was dead. And Colin Powell came out and said he was dead. And within a short period of time, for 3 days, it played on the national news that bin Laden is dead. Then the next week, there's its videotape showing bin Laden in a cave holding a rifle, saying, I'm going to attack America again or something, or whatever the spin doctor game was at that time. It's amazing that the American people can sit there and watch TV one day, and they tell them one thing. The next day, they're actually reporting the truth, and then they turn around and the following week begin the lies again, and it's almost like the American people forget what they just saw.
Well, I'm not going to get into what the American people think or what they don't think, but bin Laden is clearly dead. And, again, he is kept alive. He was dead in 2004 when Bush was running around using him to get votes against his cousin Kerry, his skull and bones patsy, John Kerry Cohen, third cousin on the Forbes side. That election was fixed to begin with. They knew that Kerry couldn't win, and they put him up as Bush's stooge, and he lost by 3 million votes. Kerry's father was a British intelligence agent who helped hire Ruth Payne as the JFK assassin Lee Harvey Oswald's babysitter.
And of course,
Daddy Bush was in Dealey Plaza. You see, all these people all go back to the assassination of President Kennedy. They're then rewarded for their participation in that by getting chances at power.
And just like Go ahead, Don. I apologize for
those that don't cooperate with the program aren't allowed to. Jimmy Carter decided he wasn't going to cooperate, and he was removed. In his attempt to rescue the hostages was thwarted in a treasonable operation run by the Bush crime family. Al Gore tried to have Mark Rich arrested to put a stop to this, along with Leo Wanta, along with the late Vince Foster, along with Vernon Walters. And, of course, what did that get Al Gore? It got his election stolen. So you see, not cooperating with these people 100% of the time leads you to a position where you're just not going to be allowed to. Things are done, aren't they, Stu?
Yeah, they are done. And I would just want to mention about the Kerry Cohen, John Kerry. That guy ought to be taken out, put in handcuffs, and taken, the jail cell, and immediately brought to trial for his cover-up and obstruction of justice, but in particular on Bank of Credit and Commerce International and that little George Herbert Walker Bush attorney stooge, Jack Blum, that worked for him on the Kerry Committee that covered everything up.
That's right, Stu. He certainly did. And Jack Blum worked for the Israeli Mossad, and they were covering up the activity that was going on in Arkansas, with Bush and Clinton, the narcotic arms trafficking operation, which was being, protected under the guise of national security. That was Iran-Contra. Go ahead.
And, of course, BCCI, which was Charles Keating, the Saudi European Investment Group involving John Connolly, the head of Saudi intelligence, the Pakistani prime minister, and many others. It was all tied up into it, which is now what they consider to be Al-Qaeda. They call themselves what they are. It went from BCCI, from Iran-Contra, to BCCI to Al-Qaeda.
Al-Qaeda means database. That's what it means. So Al-Qaeda is database, which is basically a list of people that work for the U.S. government. Remember, the Al-Qaeda group was used and hired by CIA as assassins during the Bosnian War that Clinton launched to basically assassinate Christian Serbian leaders. That was Osama bin Laden. Tim Osman was in charge of the operation. So these people are directly, they are not terrorists. They are stooges. And there is no proof that Osama bin Laden had anything to do with 9/11 except videotapes that were made in Las Vegas and distributed to this network, Al Jazeera network, which is basically run by the U.S. CIA for years. It's basically, again, it's into bin Laden videos. So
and the bin Laden videos out there on Jones Boulevard, right off of Jones, is the same place that Ted Gunderson, Mr. FBI stooge, plant on the American people, on the patriot community in particular, who was Osama bin Laden's partner selling Stinger missiles to him, who was the JFK cover-up meister sent to Dallas within a year after his death. One of the COINTELPRO stooges is running around right now in someplace in the state of Nebraska, hiding out from a county sheriff who wants to arrest him for trafficking in kids.
That is correct. So that's what we're looking at here. We're looking at an extremely web
dangerous network of people. Yes. High treason.
High treason of the highest. High treason, yes, that's correct. Now, you get into all this, and you find out later, that we have had this type of criminal activity going on for a very long time. And it doesn't seem to end. It seems to get worse. And it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And I'll tell you, I've been thinking, about how to react to all this constantly. We explain to people the truth every night, or every time we get on this program, every night, once a week. But our country's been looted. It's been, our Constitution's been shredded. Our electoral system has been basically eliminated. We vote now on electronic machines, not knowing where the votes really go. Our way of life will never be the same after the Bush alleged, residency, as I call it. We have a guy in there now who is an incompetent and a misfit who speaks well off a teleprompter but knows nothing else except how to take orders from Goldman Sachs and the Bushes and the Clintons. And a news media that is completely controlled.
And
they live in Washington.
A judicial system that's out of control, and there's no justice for the American people any place.
No, there isn't. Though, I'll tell you, they're reaching an end of the rope because now they're facing a problem of people talking openly about revolution. Now, I just want to warn people a little bit about the individuals, what revolutionary cells and revolutionary organizations you should look at and be aware, and those you should be, what would you call it, concerned about as not being true revolutionaries. They're counter-revolutionaries. That's these group tied to Fox News. These people still support Bush fraud. They still like the idea that Bush did all this stuff with the spying on the American people and all this crap. Some of them don't like Obama because he's black. There's a lot of reasons not to like Obama. The fact that he's enabled the bank looting, the fact that he's trying to impose a massive socialist health care program on us that is that will have direct authority to the IRS. There's a lot of reasons not to like Obama. He's got 6 forged birth certificates. Nobody knows exactly where he was born. But again, you talk to some of these people, you go to some of these town halls, they'll tell you they still like Bush. These people are not revolutionaries, are they, Stu?
No, they aren't. And I'll mention a name, but one of them's, I believe his name is Glenn Beck, that seems to be out there trying to say, in one sense, some truth to attract patriotic Americans. And then on the other hand, he turns around and puts on Bush crime family stooge, one commits treason and sedition, has ordered the murders of U.S. attorneys, fired U.S. attorneys, and his name's Karl Rove, that ought to be in a prison cell. But Glenn Beck, folks, is not his real name. His real name is Harry